Greetings everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering RuneScape Dragonwilds. If you would like to skip the game's overview or the setup of this series, please use YouTube chapters. RuneScape Dragonwilds is an open-world survival crafting game that takes place on a ravaged continent of Ashenfall, where dragons have awoken and destroyed almost every trace of civilization. You're tasked with establishing a base and surviving the trials and tribulations of Dragonwilds through sorcery, crafting, dungeon delving. And I'll be playing standard difficulty single-player solo game, and no spoilers backseating. So let's jump to it. We're gonna play. This, by the way, is like a fresh character. If you go to character select, I'm 0 level. It says total level 11, but that's because I'm like 1 out of 99 for 11 different schools of skills. And then we're going to create a new world. Solo. On standard. And we'll call this stream. Who would have guessed? Now there are... the world is not procedurally generated. The quests are not procedurally generated. So like... spoilers are particularly bad for this game versus others, so that's why I call for no spoilers. So here we go, entering the world.
Adventure called, a brave few answered, and the expedition set sail. Among them, an elite band of explorers, some of Gillinor's finest. They were bound for uncharted waters in pursuit of a legend. Ashenfall. Had only they known the danger. Dragons, winged death descended from the skies. Blades were drawn and spells cast, but the dragons rained ruin. And so they vanished into the wild. They adapted, endured, wielded magic, sharp as steel, wits keen as arrows, always searching for a way to call for aid. And at last, they found it. The heroes are on their way, and the dragons, they'll never see it coming.
So here we are, making landfall on Ashenfall. Opening up the map, as you can see, I am in the big old mist of gray. I don't know anything yet. And we are in a ruined church, and I am supposed to speak with the old wise man in the temple.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome to Ashenfall. Sorry about the mess. Had a bit of a dragon problem. That's why we've called for you. You've come at a great time. Heroic opportunities await. This long-forgotten place is just screaming to be explored. But before all that, how about we take you through some survival basics? Yes, please. You'll want to get grips with gathering and crafting first. Doric can help you with that. You'll find him outside the temple. Check your map if you get lost. But he should be easy to spot. He's the only dwarf on the continent, that we know of anyway. Can't miss him. So, speak to Doric outside the temple. And here we go. We are in the temple woods. Oh, hello, dragon. By Rhadament's bushy beard. Just our luck. A great ruddy dragon. Think it were him that got the others. May they rest in peace. But look at you, all skin and bones. Must be proper parched after a journey like that. Dehydration and starvation are deadlier than dragons, so you're going to need to keep an eye on your basic needs like hunger and thirst. I've marked 2 ponds on your map, to the northwest and south of us. Grab some water from there and bring it back here. Then I'll teach you what you need to survive. If you see a red berry bush along the way, grab yourself a handful. Not much of a meal, but a little food is better than no food at all. Collect some dirty water from the nearby ponds and bring it back to Doric. So we have a pond to the northwest and southeast. I'll go northwest. And he also said to grab berry bushes, these red berry bushes. So we've done just that. And here is the pond. And I am going to collect 20 water, 20 dirty water. Now, if we open this up, the red berries give us sustenance. And as you can see in the bottom left there, I have a hunger bar of 55 out of 100. And all of these fill 5 apiece. And then the dirty water gives us hydration and soul scourge. Soul scourge is not something you want a lot of. It's just worth noting. Ah, good. You've got some water. Bit dirty, I know, but better than nothing. Be careful though, the water is tainted and it'll make it life difficult if you drink too much. Xanax says boiling it sorts it out. So might want to give that a look later when you've got a chance. Anyway, time to get you all set up to survive this harsh land. And look at you, not a knife to your name. No, we can't be doing with that. Come on, let's get you prepared. You need to go and craft a stone club. It won't kill a dragon, but it's better than nothing and it'll help you live a little longer, giving you some time to make something better. You'll need to gather stone, ash logs, which you can find laying around, and then you'll want to build a crafting table to craft the club. Oh, I'm Doric, by the way, resident blacksmith and craftsperson on this expedition. Nice to meet you. Now, stop standing around and go make that club. So, build a crafting table. And if we B, as in Bravo, here is what we have right now. Crafting table, which costs 4 ash logs, and a campfire, which is 4 logs, 4 stone. We've also got a protection totem. This is more of a multiplayer thing. It protects your area land claim from being intruded upon by other players. And then we have like some pioneer cosmetic stuff. Logs, ash logs, not all logs, but ash logs can be found like kind of everywhere on the ground. You don't even need to cut down a tree for them, to be honest. And then if you're seeking stones, loose stones are a little bit harder to come by, but they're around. There we go. So, once you're building, there is a snap for like certain building objects, but we're just going to place this crafting table down, open it up, and here's what we can craft on the table. So there are capes, shields, a stone club, and the stone club is going to cost 2 more logs and 4 more stone than I currently have. And then there's also pickaxe and logging axe, and then a torch. But I started with the torch. It's on my 1 bar. So the equipment that you have is in the top left, and a torch is something I have. Torches are good for illumination, really terrible for fighting. So using them as a weapon is probably ill-advised. Now, certain enemies will have weaknesses to certain elements. And you can use that to your advantage. So like some enemies take more damage from blunt than slashing, or the inverse is true. Some are weaker to air magic or fire magic or whatever. But generally speaking, the higher the quality of the weapon, the higher the power level of the weapon, the more you will be able to do with it. So this torch is power level 1, meaning that it's going to only really be effective against, if it was a weapon, let's say, level 1 enemies and not like level 2 enemies. All right, so here is the stone club. Done and done. Bring the stone club to Doric outside the temple. Aye, that's a fine club you got there. But even the best weapons break over time. When that happens, use a crafting bench to repair your gear. Now you've got something to fight with, go chat with Vanaga over to the northeast. He can teach you how to keep fighting fit. Before you go, here's something to help you on your way. And he gave me some vegetable soup. Because the world is persistent, any items that you like drop on the ground will be there forever. So I tend not to like to litter my worlds. I mean, it's just a personal preference. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the build mode, B, and then hit T as in tango. Look at the crafting table, and then hit middle mouse button to delete it, because I don't really need a crafting table here. I mean, I could leave it. There's nothing penalizing me for leaving it there, but I don't really need to, so I'm not going to. All right, in this case, this vegetable soup fulfills 50 sustenance. I'm going to eat it when I'm a little bit more hungry, because I only have room for like 35. Also, all this grass is making me slowly Scotty beam up. That's fun. So, we are heading to this guy next. Well met, young pup. Looking to get yourself ready to face off against a dragon. You'll need more than that potato masher to kill one, but you've got to start somewhere. Look, you may have a weapon, but every great warrior knows wars are won by the stomach, not the blade. Behind me, up that hill, is a little windmill infested with rats. I want you to kill some of them and cook their meat. Don't pull that face. You can't be picky eater in a place like this. Food will make you healthier and hardier, and much more likely to survive. Properly cook a rat roast and bring them back to me. You'll probably burn a few along the way. Don't let that dissuade you. No one said survival would be pretty. Additionally, you're going to find lore books all around, like this one. Old Vanaka's an odd chap, loyal to a fault, but not one to show affection. I still remember how he trained me, instilling me with a hatred for him that pushed me right past the pain. He was merciless. He was relentless. His training made me ache every day. So I took months of resentment and balled them into a fist, and with all of my loathing, rammed it right in his face. He was so proud that I punched him. So pleased with me for bruising his jaw, because that was the first time I had walked on my new leg without having to think through every painful motion. He had given me something else to turn my loathing on. That wasn't myself. So you're going to find a lot of lore books. I don't think I'm going to spend all the time to read them, because there is a novel's worth in this game, but I'll read a select few. All right, at the moment, I am going to drink some of this dirty water to get my hydration up. And here is my soul scourge. When this bar is filled, your soul will be shredded, causing you continual harm. Because dirty water, bad for the soul water, doesn't feel so good. Alright. And again, this is why I'm choosing not to read the books. There's books everywhere. Bloodstained Journal. Alright, rats. So in the health bar and stamina bar in the center of the screen, right next to me here, stamina refills really quickly, but you're not going to really be all that effective at fighting without stamina. You have control, which is your evade, and then there is a block and a perfect block if you time it right. And then any time you use any skills at all, you will level them. So in this case, I just went from level 1 melee to level 2 melee, which reduces my attack stamina cost. For a lot of the skills along the way, there are special bonuses that you get at certain levels, like a parry, which is why I can't parry right now, at 5, or a special attack at 8, or a special spell which blocks stuff at 10, so on and so forth. Alright, how many did he want me to kill? He just wants me to cook 1 rat for the roast. Alright, so opening up our campfire, I need 2 more stone to be able to do that. And I don't have a pick yet, so I need to go scrounge up some loose stone. Here we go. Here's a campfire. Now, your rate at burning food, and the game warns you about this, of course, is high. And that is because I don't have any cooking skill. So, speaking of which, going over the skills. There's melee, there's magic, there's ranged, mining, woodcutting, crafting, or artisan, construction, cooking, rune crafting, farming, and fishing. And because cooking is one of them, the way the skills work for cooking is when you collect the item that you cooked, you will build up the related skills. So as you can see at the top of the screen, I gained 10 experience for burning that rat roast. And here it is. It does provide sustenance, so I eat it anyway. And all I need is to collect 1 rat roast. Wow, it rolled all the way down. And there it is. I have a non-burned rat roast now. And I also leveled up my cooking into making 3 rat roasts. I'm going to get rid of the campfire. And then if I open up my cooking skill tree, as you can see, my chance to burn tier 1 food goes down by 4.55%. So as I level up, I am going to burn less food over time. So, for instance, if I cooked more rat meat, which is a level 1 food, you know, I'd have like something like a 50% chance to burn it or whatever. If I was cooking like a level 5 food, I'm basically guaranteed to burn it. Because I have nowhere near the skill for it. Which means that it's important to be leveling up all your skills as you play so that they can match the sort of general difficulty that you're facing. So I also just leveled up woodcutting. And leveling up woodcutting reduces my stamina cost for cutting wood. Alright, so here we go. We got your rat meat. Well met, pup. Seems your hunt was successful. I see you've gathered the food I asked for. It may not exactly be gourmet cooking, but a meal like this could make the difference between life and death. You'll not be taking any on any dragons if you're starving to death. You'll find that rats are annoyingly resilient to clubs. Some enemies can resist certain types of damage and will be vulnerable to others. Rats, for example, do not take kindly to getting stabbed. Here, take this little butter knife to make it easier to fight them in the future. You can have it, this as well. It'll help you with what's next. Right, let's teach you a bit about magic. Zanuck, the one to talk to for that, you can find her down the road just before the river. So I have now a logging axe, a knife. Here, I'm going to reorder these bars. And we are due to talk to Zanuck next. Thank you all for the all the hype trains and stuff. So, David, Turtle Sandwich, Arcane Fennec, Holodeck, Kern, Stash, Penguin. Thank you, and welcome. Let's go ahead and drink. And finally eat. Oh, hey, look, that animal walked into the campfire. Smart. Alright, here's Zanuck. Dragons. It had to be dragons. Oh, hi. Sorry. Nice to meet you. I'm Zanuck, the local survival and goblin expert around here. The interesting thing about Ashenfall is that it is laced with magic. Anima everywhere, pouring out of the ground, which can be used to our advantage. Here, I'll show you. First, let's look at things without magic to help you. I need you to cut down a couple of trees and bring me some ash logs. Simple, right? About 50 ash logs should do. So make sure you've got a well-maintained axe. Shouldn't take long. Come back to me when you have them. Okay, stop rolling. There we go. No, don't roll the other way. Do I get experience if they cook themselves? No. Not in this case. Cooking and having an enemy burn to death is a bit different. So, I leveled up in my woodcutting enough to unlock overhead chop, which is a more efficient chop for when the tree's downed. So there's the side chop for the tree that hasn't been felled, and then the overhead chop for when it's on the ground. Venomous, thank you for the resub, and David, welcome, welcome. Pleasure to have you guys here. All right. So now my woodcutting is 7. Lower levels obviously level up quite quickly. I do have 53 ash logs already, so I'm going to bring them back to Zanuck now. Great, you've got them. Now, between you and me, that was a bit repetitive, right? I'd be exhausted having to do that all the time. Fortunately, we've got magic. As you improve in a skill, you'll discover spells that you can use, such as my favorite, Astral Projection. Projection. Will let you slice down trees with a wave of your fingers, much less time consuming than the lumberjack gig. But magic comes at a cost, runes. You need both air and astral runes to cast Astral Projection, so here's how to get them. See those geysers around with the floating rocks? Take this pickaxe and mine some essence from them. From here, you can use rune essence to craft some air or astral runes, either by building your own rune altar or by siphoning from air and astral anima vents found nearby. How dumb are you, Kebbit? 100%. Okay, so we have a pick, and it's saying to mine this stuff. So this is rune essence. And rune essence allows you to cast, essentially. Or allows you to make runes that allows you to cast. And we're going to collect some rune essence to make runes. And of course, I'm leveling up my mining as I do this. So, the next big one of my mining is lift with your hips, which reduces the carry weight of this stuff by 25% at level 5. Which is coming quick. Now, if you're wondering about the stuff floating in the air, if I had a ranged weapon, I could, like, knock that stuff to the ground. Sorry about the crouch shot. Oh, yeah. But obviously, without a ranged weapon, I can't reach it. But if I had, like, a bow or a magical staff, I could knock that stuff to the ground to be able to mine it. No problem. But for now, I'm just going to be following the tutorial, so I'm not going to bother doing that. Alright. The next step of this is to get air and astral runes. So there's two ways of getting the runes. One is I can make them myself at the rune altar. And the other is that I can siphon them from the vents. So for this one, this is an astral vent. And I'm going to siphon it for an astral rune. And vents will recharge, like, I think once a day. And having siphoned that in, now I have regular inventory, which is like items and stuff. I've got my rune inventory, projectiles, and quest items. So the runes, importantly, do not have a carry weight. The astral essence does. So you can have as many runes on you as you want. It doesn't matter. They don't weigh you down. So for the astral runes, I've siphoned from a vent. And for the air runes, I'm going to make them from scratch. So I need one more stone. And we're going to build a rune altar here. And do some rune smithing. So now rune smithing, or rune crafting, is another type of magic. So right now, all I know how to do is to make air runes. At level 3, I'll be able to make astral runes. And air runes, in my opinion, are like the most important. Because they are. And I'm going to use every single one of my rune essences to make the air runes. And I'm not going to autocraft them because it has reduced experience. I'm going to attune them myself. So you look for, like, think of this as lockpicking. Oh my god, I know what that's. Okay, moderate. I didn't want to do the hard version because I'm not very good at rune crafting. Like, my character hasn't leveled it up enough, so I'd fail. So once you attune for the difficulty, and the difficulty is like how many bonus runes you're going to get if you fulfill the requirement, which you can like double the amount of runes that you're crafting as a result. Then we begin the infusion, where we seal the cracks of the runes that are forming to prevent the rune from failing to be generated. And if I seal these cracks well enough, in the allotted time that you see in the center top of the screen, I end up with like the bonus runes that I'm aiming for. And then if I don't seal them well enough, I get fewer bonus runes. So I gotta aim properly, and as you can see, the progress bar in the top right is decreasing because I have some cracks that are damaging the runes I'm making. So I didn't get the full 30 bonus runes, but I did get 23 of them. Okay, so now I have air and astral runes, and I need to return to Zanuck. Great work! Runes are the lifeblood of magic. You'll need them to cast spells and use magical staves. A well-placed spell can make all the difference. You'll unlock new spells as you improve your skills. Here, this book should help you towards that. Have a play around with them. You'll find that they can be incredibly useful. Right now that you've learned the basics, it's time to get started. The wise old man is waiting for you just outside the Bramblemead village. Follow your compass to find him. Better not keep him waiting too long. He gets real cranky. So here's a book which will teach me some more wood cutting. So I just leveled up my wood cutting, and it's now level 8. And then my rune crafting from crafting runes leveled up to 3, which allows me to make astral runes. And I'm not going to go over the things I know how to craft right now, because we'll get into that. Excuse you. You want to get stabbed? Thought so. Filling up my food and water, and we are moving over to the wise old man eventually. Taking a bit of the scenic route. You're entering an area with stronger creatures than enemies. Craft better weapons and armor to improve your chances of survival. So this correlates to the fact that the Bramblemead Valley is a power level 2 zone, whereas the Templewoods over here is a power level 1 zone. You'll see as I transition between them that they'll indicate as such. So Templewoods is like here, power level 1. And it's worth noting, all of my stuff is power level 1, so it's basically telling me that I'm going to have a harder time in this new zone, which is fine. I'm also gonna pick up the flax I find over here, because flax is important in basically every game I ever play. Explore. Ashenfall is home to many resources. Exploration will give you access to different materials. That it will. Okay, we got another rune book. This one is the Pungent Scribble. We've got a chest. Now these chests will regenerate over time. This one has a plan for wooden barrel, which is like a cosmetic thing that you can build in your base. Wheat seeds, a lumberjack potion, which reduces the stamina of wood cutting. And then, you know, some other junk. So, wise old man.
Yes.
Is there anything I can help with? Ask about the dragon slaying quest. Good. You've got the basics under your belt. But now, the guide ropes are off. Taking down a dragon won't be easy, but you've got the skills you need to do it. Well, almost. We need to start thinking long term. Bramblemead Village is an excellent place for an outpost, even if it's a little overrun with goblins right now. We should build a new base of operations here. By we, I mean you. Bad back. Har har. Doesn't need to be fancy, though style is always worth pursuing. But it needs to be functional. Make a shelter, some foundations, walls, and a roof, and then build and claim a bed in it. You can go bigger, of course. Let your inner architect run wild, but a bed's the bare minimum we need to get started. Go on, hop to it, get. And he gave me a tome of runecrafting. And I leveled up to 5. And at level 7, we get Windstep, which is like probably one of the most useful utility spells. So, okay. Again, the map is not procedurally generated, and my 2 cents, living among... So it's a little weird that Zanuck is a goblin who's like chill or whatever, and then the rest of the goblins in this village are not chill. They are hostile. And the game goes into like the reason why Zanuck is different. But the TLDR is, I don't really want to live near goblins that are going to harass me. So I'm actually, despite him saying Bramblemead Village is an ideal place for a base, I disagree, and I'm going to be building back over in the Temple Woods. For now, it is going to be easiest to live near water for both hydration and farming reasons, because there later on in the game becomes easier ways to farm where you can water crops without, you know, like water that you draw from a pond. But with that said, anytime your character wants to hydrate, you are going to need to go fetch water, and for whatever reason, you really have to fetch it from like a natural body of water. So living on the water, I think, is ideal. And we've got this pond here, and this pond here. And really any of them will do. But I think where I'm standing now is probably where I want to start a base. So the current priority is build a simple base. So talking about simple bases, oh god, what happened to my UI? What is going on here? Hold on, I have to fix something on my end. Okay, fixed it. When you're crafting stuff, it does have a tendency to clip through the floor. So what I'm building right now, I'll probably end up revisiting so that I don't have these stilt-like structures, because I don't want the things I'm crafting to go underneath the base. And for that matter, I don't want like rats or whatever to go underneath the base either. So I'm just going to make a basic house here. with the full intention of really ripping it all up later. But you get full refunds, so it's not a big deal. And as you can see, my construction skill has gone up from doing just this. So we have some foundations. Let's go ahead and get a door. And stairs. And everything snaps. And there is advanced snapping and like simple snapping. Advanced snapping allows a lot more control. But generally speaking, simple snapping is like fine. And that is changed with Y. And then there's no snapping if you really want like fine-tuned placements. But I'm going to probably stay on simple snapping for now. And as you can see, I did not build that doorway proper. It did not snap correct. There we go. We got a door. And now let's do walls. I don't even think I have windows. When do I get windows here? I'm already leveling up my construction skill pretty quickly, allowing me more access to stuff. So, as you can see, I have some window-like stuff. Let's go ahead and cut down some additional trees. Now, there's two types of trees here. There's ash and oak. I will not be able to cut down the oak. It's also worth noting that you can plant your own trees. So if I'm cutting down trees around my base, I can always put them back. Not a big deal. And if you're wondering, I will be fishing in this game, a little bit at least, because, you know, I'm trying to dutifully show the game mechanics and, you know, there's a fishing quest and everything. So I'll be doing a little bit of that. Crazy, right? Joker, cheers. Now, pretty soon, I should be able to get astral projection, and that's at 11. So one more level of lumberjacking. Oh, and speaking of which, if I'm cutting down trees, let's go ahead and take the weak lumberjack potion, because that's going to allow me to perform more actions on a single stamina bar. Alright, I am now 11. So a lot of the spells will have a cooldown period, so you can use, and this is my first spell, Astral Projection. And it casts a astral axe and launches it forward, chopping trees down in its path. It's worth noting that you can line up a whole bunch of trees to be more effective. However, you're still going to need to chop them up once they're down on the ground. There is a spell for that later on, though. So hit Q. Select Astral Projection, and here is a 3-for-1 tree. Cast the Astral Projection, and thump, thump, thump. 3 for the price of 1. Paul Bunyan's got nothing on me, kid. Oh, crap. I treed my house. It's okay. Only an imposter rad would fish in the game? Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing it, but there is a quest to do it. So I will at least complete the quest. And if you're wondering if the rate of you leveling up continues at this rate, no. No. Like, once you hit, like, I would say skill level high 30s, low 40s, it really starts to slow down. So it's not like, oh, I'm already 14 out of 100. I'm 14% of the way there. No. Mathematically, I might be 14% there. Realistically, it's more like 2% or something like that. With that said, a lot of most of the skills don't have much to them once you exceed like level 50. So like the last major unlock that I get for cutting down trees is at 40. And then it's just like lower stamina costs until you hit the end. And that's true of most skills that there isn't a big benefit to it past a certain point. And maybe as the game develops, that will change over time. That I don't know. Alright, so we got some basics here. We'll go ahead and so these are the walls. I don't really need floors, I already put them in. So we'll go with roof. Let's do a hip roof, 45-degree angle here. That's not lining up. Because it was wrong. And my construction skill is skyrocketing as a consequence. The game's like, yeah, you shouldn't have built like this. Valley roof should fit in. Oh, yeah, it's gonna snap. Hold on. Get in there. There we go. Okay. I think a crafting table makes sense to put in here. Some crafting requires to be inside. They require shelter, and it will tell you as such. As you can see in the tooltip, requires shelter. So like a spinning wheel needs to be indoors, whereas like a campfire does not necessarily. And I am going to... campfire must not be covered by a roof. Right. So some things are the very opposite. Campfire was like, yo, you want to burn down your house? So in the interest of actually being able to like cook at home, let's go ahead and build a space for the campfire out here. Oh, God. Okay. What am I going to do here? Medium walls. Oh, actually, do I have pillars? Yeah, okay. Perfect. Now, there is stability. I'm just out of wood. There is stability, so you have to keep stability in mind. And also, my character is like dehydrated super. I'm working on the fire, but I don't have it. I mean, I could slap it down, but I haven't done it just yet. And we're almost done with our simple survival shack. And then we'll get back on task. Thank you for tuning in to RuneScape Dragonwilds, which originally streamed live on Twitch as a marathon. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but I'm not looking for feedback or spoilers. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, viewers that came to the live stream, and also viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits, so thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow adventurers.